Want to speak real Vietnamese from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at Vietnamesepod101.com.
Hi guys, it's Linh. Welcome back to Vietnamesepod101.com, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Vietnamese. We've had videos about 10 companies in Vietnam or 10 universities in Vietnam, and today I'm going to introduce you the top 5 businessmen in Vietnam. The reason why that I want to introduce you is because they're very famous and they contribute a lot to the development of Vietnam. So let's see who they are. Number 1, we must talk about Phạm Nhật Vượng. Phạm Nhật Vượng, the founder and chairman of the giant Vingroup. Phạm Nhật Vượng is Vietnam's first and richest billionaire. Forbes named him as Vietnam's first billionaire with a net worth of $1.5 billion. His current net worth, according to Forbes, is a whopping of 4.2 billion US dollars. This year, Vingroup's intention is to sell phones in Europe and cars in the US. It can be said that Mr. Phạm Nhật Vượng has been bringing Vietnam to all 5 continents and creating great pride for all Vietnamese people. Also, it can be seen that Mr. Phạm Nhật Vượng is one of the most successful businessmen in Vietnam at the moment. Entering 2020, Mr. Phạm Nhật Vượng has taken Vingroup out of the traditional retail industry step by step. He also advocates investing in high-tech agriculture or high-tech industry and high-class tourism, promising to gradually improve the living standards of Vietnamese people and the image of Vietnam in the international market. VinFast electric motorbikes or VinFast cars or VinFast phones are having a solid foothold in the domestic market and are highly appreciated by foreign technology enthusiasts. That is one of the most profound proofs of what Mr. Phạm Nhật Vượng and Vingroup are doing. Now the second one, let's talk about Mr. Đặng Lê Nguyên Vũ. Have you heard about Trung Nguyên Coffee Vietnam? So Mr. Đặng Lê Nguyên Vũ is the founder of Trung Nguyên Vietnam. And in his 20-year career, despite many difficulties in the fields of retail, tourism, and real estate, with his belief and strong will, Mr. Đặng Lê Nguyên Vũ always wishes to globalize Trung Nguyên and contribute to the national strategy for a stronger Vietnam. Just recently, Mr. Đặng Lê Nguyên Vũ has received the most attention from the public with the event of the cancellation of the legal representation right at Trung Nguyên Coffee instead of Mrs. Lê Hoàng Diệp Thảo, who is his wife. This event caused skepticism for the next development path of this world-famous brand. After the historic and costly divorce, Mr. Đặng Lê Nguyên Vũ regained control of the company and gradually brought Trung Nguyên back to its position again as the king of the Vietnamese coffee industry. So currently, after many ups and downs, Trung Nguyên is not only a company selling packaged coffee, but also has an ecosystem of many cafes occupying expansive positions in many areas in Vietnam. It can be said that Mr. Đặng Lê Nguyên Vũ is one of the businessmen with a different way of thinking, but is very respected by young people among Vietnamese businessmen today. Next one, let's talk about Miss Mai Kiều Liên. Miss Mai Kiều Liên was born in 1953 in Paris, graduated as an engineer in dairy processing technology in Russia in 1976. With the desire to create something for the young generation, the future generation of Vietnam, she embarked on market research and found that milk is a very good source of nutrients for babies' development. Since then, she has worked hard and devotedly to bring Vinamilk from nothing to become one of the most successful companies in Vietnam today. So now you know she is the owner and founder of Vinamilk. Vinamilk's solid position today is largely due to the contribution of Ms. Mai Kiều Liên. She is the one who makes timely decisions such as investing in raw material areas early, restructuring the company and setting the goal of bringing Vinamilk into the top 50 largest dairy producers in the world in the next 5 years with $3 billion in revenue. On this point, Forbes also commented that Ms. Liên has built Vinamilk not only to become one of the prestigious brands of Vietnam, but also to be respected and appreciated throughout Asia and the world. In an interview with BBC, Ms. Liên expressed her ambition that Vinamilk will become a multinational corporation and will have large farms to be self-sufficient in raw materials from domestic cows, reducing the import of foreign materials. It can be said that at present, Vinamilk is a leading giant in milk, not only in Vietnam but also in Asia. Next one, let's talk about Miss Nguyễn Thị Phương Thảo. Have you heard about Vietjet? Ms. Nguyễn Thị Phương Thảo was born in 1970, is currently the General Director of Vietjet, one of the biggest Vietnam airlines. With her young age, she soon succeeded in her work, owning a huge amount of property that many people dream of. Not only that, she's also one of the 10 most successful businesswomen by Forbes Vietnam. In 2020, Ms. Nguyễn Thị Phương Thảo is included in the 100 Asian Economic Changers. This businesswoman with a small stature constantly appears in the nominations for businesses and development in the region voted by major newspaper in the world. She has become one of the model businesswomen of young people, and up to now, Vietjet has captured more than 40% of the domestic market share and continuously growing rapidly in profits. Many people who have come in contact with her say that Ms. Thảo is not a mere business model but more like a warrior woman. Her staff also said that the general manager's office is lighted until 2 or 3 a.m. every day, including holidays, which is very normal. And those who have come into contact with her have a very special impression of this woman. This explains why she is very successful, right? Now, let's talk about Mr. Jonathan Heidman. Reviving Trang Dien Commercial Center, which is Trang Dien Plaza, turning it into the most luxurious shopping place in Vietnam in the context of the economic crisis in 2020, is considered a very, very risky decision of Mr. Jonathan Heidman. However, the chairman and general director of IMEX Pan Pacific Group, IPP, who is called the king of Vietnamese brands, shared, "I'm not playing foolish, reckless, or indecisive." He once said that this is not simply a commercial center, but also the lifelong aspiration of an expatriated son. Only his statement shows how patriotic he is, right? And especially among 112 super luxury stalls at Trang Dien Plaza, Mr. Jonathan Heidman owns 20 booths already, rumored to own a fortune worth hundreds of millions, even billions of dollars, with the image of a super luxury mansion in Vietnam. But the IPP chairman Jonathan Heidman has never announced his fortune. The official statistics on the assets of Jonathan Heidman have also never appeared. However, in the Vietnamese business world, he is an illustrious name both in terms of assets and business scale. In 2020, he is one of the leaders with large investments in industrial parks, export processing zones, and most especially, the reoperation of Văn Phong Large Seaport to help promote the domestic export industry. This is a project of the National General Port, the largest international transshipments in Vietnam. That's it for today. A lot of information, right? But I really want to introduce to you the biggest businesswoman or businessmen in Vietnam who have helped Vietnam to become a better country, a bigger and stronger country. And they have contributed a lot into the development of our country. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, visit the website Vietnamesepod101.com to get access to your free lifetime account right now and get your real lessons by real teachers. I'll see you in the next video and xin chào và hẹn gặp lại các bạn.
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.